afternoon, Mr. Mulet. Mr. Spring, the Security Council will make some opening remarks, and then we'll have time for 2 or 3 questions.
Thank you. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. I'll make a few comments, and then I will be able to answer some of your questions. I just briefed the Security Council along with the United Nations High Representative for Disarmament, Ms. Izumi Nakamitsu. As the head of the independent 3-member leadership panel of the OPCW United Nations Joint Investigative Mechanism, I presented our 6th report to the Council a few moments ago. I am here with the other 2 members of the leadership panel, Ms. Julie Cheng-Hopkins and Mr. Stefan Mogul. The JIM, the Joint Investigative Mechanism, has a unique mandate from the Security Council to identify, to the greatest extent feasible, perpetrators who use chemicals as weapons in the Syrian Arab Republic. The JIM, the Joint Inspection Mechanism, uses as its starting point the determination by the OPCW fact-finding mission that a specific incident in Syria has involved or likely involved the use of chemicals as weapons. Before I take your questions, I'd like to highlight 3 points. First, it is indisputable fact that chemicals have been used as weapons in the Syrian Arab Republic. People have died because of such deadly and insidious weapons, which the world found inhumane already more than 100 years ago. We, the members of the panel, the JIM, we absolutely condemn such horrendous acts. Our mandate, as entrusted to us by the Security Council, is to identify the perpetrators, and we hope that our work will help stop this erosion of the international ban against chemical weapons. Second, the Joint Investigative Mechanism is currently investigating 2 incidents where the OPCW-FFM fact-finding mission determined chemical weapons have been used. They are Khan Sheikhoun incident of 4 April this year, which you have all seen the horrifying images associated with that incident. The other incident occurred in Khosh in September of last year. In line with our mandate from the Security Council, we will conduct a thorough investigation to identify to the greatest extent feasible those responsible for these crimes. Given the immense challenges related to conducting investigations in the middle of an ongoing conflict, we will need to receive all the information that is available about these incidents. Third, the Joint Investigation Mechanism is not working in a vacuum. We find ourselves in a highly politicized environment. I appeal to all, as I did right now in the Council, to let us perform our work in an impartial, independent, and professional manner. We have gathered a group of experts with various specialties and backgrounds who will do exactly that, do their work in an impartial, independent, and professional manner. Focusing on the very challenging tasks before us, we will carry out our work effectively and present all the findings we reach to the Security Council. I will now take your questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mulet. You mentioned the political situation that you are working with. How big is the pressure on the JIM now, given the division in the Security Council on this matter? And 2, how critical is it for you to visit Shu'airat Air Base?
On the first issue, on the politicization, we do receive, unfortunately, direct and indirect messages all the time from many sides telling us how to do our work. And some of those messages are very clear in saying that if we don't do our work according to them, to these different visions, then they will not accept the conclusions of our work. So my message again to the Council today was, please let us do our work. We have a very highly professional team. We're going to do this in a very independent manner, objectively, impartially, and we will present our results in October. Politicization also comes in the automatic response that we hear from the international community when there's an incident in Syria, or an accusation or an alleged incident in Syria. Automatically, some member states say, automatically, it's the Syrian regime who is responsible for this. And automatically, some other ones say, it's the opposition that is responsible for this. So I'm not going one way or the other. I mean, we will do our work, and we'll find our findings in the end, based on facts and on science, will determine who is responsible for this. On the Al-Shayrat base, it is our intention to visit Al-Shayrat base, and in order to go to the sites, and we also would like to go to Khan Sheikhoun. But of course, that is related to security concerns and security issues. But also, before going to these places, I would need some feedback from the Syrian government. I need information about the flight logs in Al-Shayrat, the movements around Al-Shayrat. I need the names of the people we will be interviewing, military commanders and government officials, and all sorts of information that the Syrian government could provide to us in order to conduct our work. So we're working already with the Syrian government on this, and hopefully we will be given the necessary tools and instruments in order to do our work.
Sorry. Mr. Mulet, two questions. First, when do you expect to be able to report on these findings? I know you have another report due in the fall. Can we expect some results then? And secondly, Russia has said publicly and repeatedly that it does not believe that even the results of the fact-finding mission are accurate because that team never visited the sites. How do you address that allegation, which obviously will be repeated in whatever the GIM does if you don't go there?
On your first question, Edie, this was the one we presented today was a progress report on the current what we're doing in the GIM right now, but the substantive report is due more or less in mid-October. And by then, I hope that we will have the conclusions and the results of our work regarding the cases in Khosh and in Khan Sheikhoun. And we're putting all our efforts and concentrating all our resources in working in those two alleged incidents. Regarding the OPCW fact-finding mission conclusions and results, we, the GIM, have full trust and full confidence in the high professional work that the fact-finding mission has done and has always done, and especially now in the Khan Sheikhoun issue. Yesterday in The Hague, there was a meeting of the Executive Council of the OPCW, and all member states recognized and accepted that sarin or sarin-like was used in Khan Sheikhoun, was present in Khan Sheikhoun, was dispersed in Khan Sheikhoun. So that is a fact. Everybody, including the Russian Federation, including the Syrian government, have accepted that fact. So the way the OPCW fact-finding mission arrived to that conclusion at this point is moot, because everybody agrees that that is the fact. That is the result. And we will be building our work on what the fact-finding mission has produced, but also on additional information from many other sources, not only on this one. And we're already looking into that and receiving all sorts of different information from different sources.
Thank you, Mr. Mulet. Michelle Nichols from Reuters. These direct and indirect messages that you said you're receiving, are they coming from one country or several countries? And apologies if you said this earlier, we were having a little trouble hearing. How many cases, apart from Khan Sheikhoun, are you working on at the moment?
On your first question, I mean, the messages, direct or indirect messages we receive are coming from everywhere, from everywhere. So it's more than one and probably less than 20, but it's still from quite a lot of different sectors and interested parties, certainly. And we're investigating two cases right now. Khosh, that happened in September of 2016 in Idlib, Governorate, and in Khai Sheikhoun, the one on 4th of April of this year. These are the two cases we're working on right now. OPCW Director General has informed us they are working themselves on 6 or 7 other cases that might come our way before the end of October when we present our substantive report.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.